Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Denali and I'm a full-time reseller on eBay and Poshmark. My store and closet name is DUCHO, E-L-D-U-C-H-O, and you can find me on Instagram at DUCHO Thrift. If you're not subscribed to my channel and you like reselling content, hit the button down below, and if you enjoy this video, give me a thumbs up on your way out. I appreciate it. So today's video is being sponsored by No Issue. Have you guys heard of this company? It's really cool. I'm going to tell you all about it. So No Issue creates poly mailers, which are like, cool, Denali, great. But I have been looking for a poly mailer that would reduce my environmental impact. So I don't feel great about using plastic. I think we all can relate to this. If you're a clothing reseller, you're using a lot of plastic to put clothing into these bags, and then you're transferring them to another bag which uses more plastic. So that's where No Issue comes into play. They actually have created a 100% compostable poly mailer. That's pretty awesome, right? So they are plant-based and they're super durable and have a lot of stretch. They're actually so durable that you can actually use them again. I'm going to show you what they look like. I actually have one here. They sent me some. So this is what they look like, just like a regular poly mailer. You know, they're not any different except that once composted, these will break down in 180 days. So I think that's really the great part about it, and you can feel a little bit less guilty about shipping all of your packages out. And then look how cute they are. Hey, I'm 100% compostable mailer. So anyways, if you guys are interested in learning more about No Issue, I have their link in my description down below, and the best part is I've got a coupon code. So for 10% off your order, you can use the coupon code DUCHO, E-L-D-U-C-H-O. However, this is only good through the end of August, so August 2019, so act quickly. Okay, so I am here today with a tips, tricks, info video about the Goodwill outlet. So I get a lot of questions about shopping at the Goodwill outlet. The bins is also what it's called. You know, people are nervous about going, and I know that feeling all too well. When I first started shopping at the bins, I felt very scared, uneasy, didn't want to walk in there. I figured it was like shopping at a Best Buy on the day after Thanksgiving. Spoiler alert, it can be. So I wanted to make this video that would help answer questions for everyone else on what you should know before you start going there. So I have a little list here I'm going to read off of. But I think the first question that you have to ask yourself is, are the bins for you? They're not for everyone. You know, it's a great place to source, and you can get, if you're not familiar, the bins is pay by the pound, clothing, hard goods, anything like that. But if you're not comfortable with being around like a lot of people in a close setting, the bins are probably not going to be a great place for you. If your personal bubble is like this big beyond my camera, it's gonna get popped. If it's this big, this big, this big, this big, this big, or this big, it's gonna get popped, because there are going to be people who are reaching in front of you, over you, behind you. I'm like, what other way can we do this? It's gonna be popped. People are gonna be grabbing and reaching and stepping into your space. So you have to know that before you go. If you can be okay with that, all right, so far so good. Another thing is that it's not clean. If you're used to some other nice fancy thrift stores, this is not it. Now some bins are better than others, but I think probably more are dirty than they are clean. So you just need to know that the environment that you're going to be in is not a cleanly place, and then the things that you're touching are not cleanly at all. They have been transferred many times through many different places. They're being touched by lots of different people and being exposed to lots of different elements. So you're going to touch something that might be wet or sticky or possibly sharp. Might have human fluids on it. There's lots of different things there. So again, I wanted to say this part at the beginning of the video because I figured for a lot of people this is where some folks would just be like, nope, tap out, I'm not doing this. All right, the next thing I wanted to talk about is wearing comfortable clothing. So if you're going to be spending a long period of time there, which I recommend doing, the longer you stay, the better the odds are that you're going to find really great items. You're going to want to wear comfortable clothing. So usually what I'll wear there is yoga pants of some variety. I wear them in my daily life in general, but especially to the bins because you kind of want to be able to stretch and move around really easy. You want to wear something that's breathable, that you're not going to get too overheated in. And then just wearing like a lightweight top. So something, again, that's breathable, that you're not going to be sweating profusely in. Just those are kind of things to think about. You can also wear gloves or a mask. Now, when I first started going to the bins, I did wear gloves. However, I realized quickly that you are less likely to be able to feel the materials if you wear gloves, like for instance, silk, cashmere. You're not going to feel that stuff. So I stopped wearing them. You can also wear a mask. Now, at some bins, I would definitely recommend doing this, especially if you're somewhere that's really dusty or hot. You're gonna wanna wear a mask to protect your face because otherwise you're gonna be like sneezing or blowing your nose the whole time. This one's a really simple one, but wearing a hair tie, just something to keep the hair out of your face if you have long hair, because otherwise you're gonna be going like, and you don't really wanna be touching your face while you're there because, right, you've just been touching inside these bins. Trying to keep your hand away from your face is a good thing. And then adjusting your clothing for hot or cold weather. I think 9 times out of 10, it's just gonna be hot in general, even if it's a cooler day. A lot of the bins are in warehouse settings. You're working really hard, so you're gonna be really overheated. So yeah, 9 times out of 10, you probably wanna wear clothing that you can take off in layers. Another thing to know is to know the rules. There are some spoken and unspoken rules at the bins, and you want to make sure that you're aware of those. So one of the most obvious and well-known rules is that you cannot reach into new bins until the employees tell you to go. I think this is the case in most locations. If it's different for you, let me know in the comments down below because I'm curious. However, most locations, when they roll out a new bin, you have to stand behind some sort of line or stand in some area until they call you over to the bins or until they tell you to go. When I've gone to Denver, they actually shut down that whole kind of section or area, so they like block it off. So you can't even walk over to the new bin area. You can't get into place until they say you can get into place, and then after that, then they tell you to go. So there's kind of 2 steps there. Where I'm from, you just have to stand behind a yellow line, and then you cannot cross the yellow line until they say go. So you usually can tell when there's new people there because somebody will get yelled at. Don't worry, it's not super traumatizing. We've all been yelled at before at the bins. But now you know. Another thing that would be like an unspoken rule is if you find maybe a shoe but you don't find the other shoe, but you see somebody else who has the other shoe, one thing is that you can flip for the shoe, like flip a coin, and maybe, you know, whoever gets heads or tails or whatever gets the other shoe. If you want, you can just be a nice person and give them the other shoe, or possibly you can trade them for another shoe. Maybe you happen to have a lot of, like, you both have singles that the other one needs. And then another thing is just talking to other people who regularly go to that location and learning what the rules, excuse me, I just had something to drink, but learning what the rules are of those bins. I think one thing is that you can trade items with other people. So if they have something that you want, or vice versa, you can be trading items with them, clothing items, etc. Or also making a deal with them. Maybe you don't pick up vintage items, but they do, possibly making a deal while you're in the bins, coming out with a little bit of something by giving them those items. And then other things to know to bring while you're there are snacks. Snacks are super important when you go to the bins. I know this one sounds really silly, but if you want to have any lasting power while you're at the bins, you need snacks and you need something to drink. Now, some locations do sell snacks and drinks. They don't do that back here where I'm from. So when I first started traveling and saw that people are getting snacks and drinks at their locations, I was like, well, that's awesome. But our locations back here do not have them. So I need to bring my own snacks. Now, I recommend bringing something that's like nuts, a protein bar, something that's going to give you some lasting power. I wouldn't bring something heavy, like carbohydrate heavy, because that's just going to make you tired, weigh you down. So bringing something light for yourself, you can keep in your car or on you or wherever the case might be, and then bringing something to drink, water, an energy drink, coffee, etc., etc. Some locations will allow you to bring a chair. So again, back home here, people don't bring chairs, but at other locations that I've traveled to, people do bring chairs. So when I have traveled, I actually bring my own chair. I was able to buy a camping stool on Amazon, which I will link down below in my Amazon products that I use, so you can check out that link and see what other stuff that I use as well. But anyways, I bought a chair that was very inexpensive. I want to say it was like 15 bucks or less, maybe. It's super lightweight. I needed it to be really lightweight for bringing with me for traveling because it's a checked item and it's just gonna, you know, add to my poundage. It actually has like a carrying strap, like a shoulder carrying strap, which is really nice. And it's just enough for me to sit down when I need to sit down while I'm there. Again, if you're there long periods of time, you're gonna get tired. You're gonna want to sit down at some point. So another thing that's important to bring is your own bags. Now, I like to bring IKEA bags. I can't remember what the names of the ones I use are. I want to say it's like Frakta, F-R-A-K-T-A. But anyways, there's lots of different ones. Amazon makes a knockoff one as well. I like to bring the ones that zip up and then have shoulder straps as a backpack. They're bigger. You can zip them up so stuff doesn't fall out. You're going to want to have a bag for not only when you leave, right, to tote your stuff out. Not all locations will give you a bag, but also when you're walking around picking, you're going to want to have a little bag or a basket to put stuff in and then go dump it into your cart and then go back out and do the same thing over again. So those are important. I also like to bring headphones. So I'm somebody who likes to listen to music or podcasts while I'm working. So bringing some sort of headphones with you, if you're that type, I do recommend bringing it. I also recommend a charger, a phone charger. I'm always like looking up comps, so it drains my battery really quickly. So I like to bring my Anchor phone charger. It has like 9 full recharges on it. So again, that's in my Amazon links down below, but any external charger will work. I just like to bring that one because it has like 1 billion recharges. Allergy medication. So if you are sensitive to dust or any other elements, taking one beforehand or taking one while you're there is going to be really useful for you. And then I don't know if I said this earlier, so I'm going to repeat it because I'm not going to edit this video, but bring a fanny pack. Now, you can bring a backpack, that's totally fine, but why I don't like bringing a backpack is that this job is very like core and upper body heavy. And so even the lightest backpack, something that weighs like 4 to 8 ounces, by the end of the day is going to feel like 20 pounds on your shoulder because you're just hunched over, you're grabbing, stuff like that. So wearing something around your waist, which you'll see a lot of people wear fanny packs at the bins, wearing something around your waist is not going to impact your back and your shoulders. So getting a good fanny pack that has like a lot of room with a lot of pockets, like I can fit my cell phone, my Anchor charger, I can get a snack in there, I'll put hand sanitizer, all sorts of different stuff. So just finding one that's really durable. It doesn't have to be cute, but cute helps. Lastly, just another tip in general, and I learned this one from my friend Courtney, who is Comment Tags here on YouTube, is that some locations don't have great cell phone service, and so that can be more difficult for looking up comps. So she actually taught me a trick that I'm going to pass on to you guys, but that is how to get better cell phone service if the cell phone service sucks or is possibly being jammed by the location. So I have an iPhone, so I'm going to only tell you what to do for an iPhone. I don't have an Android, so hopefully you can figure out in the settings with yours. But basically, you're going to go into settings on your iPhone, and you're going to select cellular, and then you're going to select cellular options, and then you're going to select enable LTE, and then you're going to turn off voice and data or turn off data. Basically, just hit turn off. And once I do that, the cell phone signal does get a little bit better. Just remember that once you're done there, turn it back to whatever the original setting is. I don't know what it does if you leave it on, but I always just turn mine back. So those are my tips, you guys. I hope they were helpful. If they were, give me a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. And let me know in the comments down below what stuff I left out that you think is essential for shopping and sourcing at the bins, things that people just need to know. All right, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks. Bye.